Yo, bro, what you about to get into? Yo, not much, man. I'm about to watch this new show called Dandadan. I feel like it's gonna be a good show. Like people on Thread saying it's pretty good, so I'm trying to figure out, what's about. You mean that old song "Don't Drop That Dandadan" got turned into an anime? No, fool. It's a new episode. Like, yo, let's check this out. I think you might like. Okay, this is OP fire. All right, there we go. Okay, I bet. I think I'm gonna like this.
A few moments later.
Scoping out the scene, like some stuff about to happen for sure. Yo, you gotta get out of there, my guy.
I'll let you suckle my teats, boy. If you let me gobble your dog.
What kind of anime am I watching? What? Who the? Bro, what kind of anime you got me on? Are they command? Bro, this literally like assault to me. Yo, you wildin', bro. What kind of anime you watching? This is crazy, bro. Nah. We need to go. You are tripping right now. The first episode of Dandadan has dropped, and by this time this goes live, episode 2 is probably already out. Now, if you survived my terrible acting skit at the beginning, you might have realized I have some pretty serious questions, but there's something about episode 1 that stood out to me, and I think it, oddly enough, connects to the Christian story. Dandadan kicks off with our main character, Momo, a high school girl who doesn't believe in ghosts, but is all about psychic phenomena. One day she meets this nerdy guy, Okuran, who's basically the opposite. He doesn't buy into ghosts, but he is convinced aliens are real. And they make a deal. Momo will prove ghosts exist, and Okuran will prove aliens are real. They both set out to investigate places tied to, each other's beliefs. Momo heads to an abandoned hospital, and Okuran goes to a haunted tunnel. Then things kind of get crazy. They each come face to face with the very thing they didn't believe in. Okuran nearly gets assaulted, or he does get assaulted by an old ghost hag named Turtle Granny, while Momo gets abducted by these weird, inappropriate aliens. So this first episode is kind of wild. Definitely not one to watch with the family around.
Had your kids, had your wife.
It's fast-paced, quirky, and it manages to mix comedy and action, which I think sets the tone for what's going to be a great and fun season. Now, you might be asking, how does this first episode connect to the Christian story? Well, let me tell you, Momo and Okuran wrote off the other person's belief because it seemed ridiculous. Exactly like how many people, maybe even you, view certain beliefs and maybe Christianity today. Many folks doubt God exists, and others find it hard to believe that God came to us in the flesh, lived a perfect life, died and rose again so that we could be in relationship with God and becomes exclusive. People hold strong to their own beliefs and refuse to see things differently. What if I told you your attitude towards Christianity or your own belief system might mirror a story from the New Testament? One of the fiercest enemies of the early church was a guy named Saul. He thought those Christians preaching about a risen Messiah was crazy and deserved to die or be put in jail. Saul was a Pharisee, a devout follower of the Judaism, and he took it upon himself to wreak havoc on the early church. He even approved of the stoning of Stephen, one of the first Christian martyrs. Saul went house to house, throwing Christians in prison, believing he was doing the right thing. And then one day, on his way to cause more chaos and persecute more Christians, something happened to him that he never expected. A bright light from heaven flashed around him, and a voice said, "Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me?" Jesus asked, "Who are you?" The voice replied, "I am Jesus whom you are persecuting. Now get up and go into the city, and you will be told what you must do." In that moment, the very man who was bent on destroying the early church became a devout follower of Jesus who wrote a good part of the New Testament. He realized that through Jesus, is the only way to get to God. And I paralleled Dandadan's story with this biblical moment because there are so many stories like it, including my own. At one point, I didn't want God. I wasn't a Christian. I wanted to do my own thing, live my own way, until I had an encounter with God who changed my life forever. Not because of anything that I did, but because of what Jesus did on the cross for me. He gave his life for me. You might be watching this and you feel the same way. Maybe you're an atheist, a Muslim, or someone into horoscopes and crystals and whatever, and you look down on Christians for believing that the only way to God is through a man who lived 2,000 years ago. And I get you. I was once like you. Paul was even more extreme than you. But when Paul met Jesus, his life transformed, just like many other Christians around the world. Paul had to be knocked off his horse and blinded for days, but you don't have to wait till you hit rock bottom to meet Jesus. You can trust him and have your life change right now. And the best part is you don't have to clean yourself up or get everything right first. Jesus has already done the work for you. He lived the life you can, and he offered himself as a sacrifice so that you could have a relationship with God. He loves you, he loves me, and he proved it by laying himself on the line. Romans 5:8 says God demonstrated his own love for us, and while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Ephesians 2:8 and 9 says, for it is by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not from yourselves, it's the gift of God, not by works, so that no one can boast. Hear me, because I know maybe a Christian, my brother or sister, you're watching this and you're just like, yo, why are you comparing? This video isn't for you. It's for the person who may doubt that Christianity is the way, the truth, and the life. You already are there, so this video wasn't necessarily for you. But for the person that may be struggling to believe, or doesn't want to believe, or is hostile to Christianity and have the same feelings and presuppositions like Momo and Okarun, this is for you. Be like them, caught off guard by what you refuse to believe. In reality, there's a greater truth at play. Jesus wants to know you, and he invites you into his family, and he's done everything for that to happen. I think of some famous people who weren't Christians, who were into other things, and now their whole life has been changed because they've had an encounter with Jesus. And this isn't just coincidence. This isn't just something that people are getting into because they want to have a better life, because the belief is that whatever else is out there provides freedom. Or popular belief is that everything else out there provides freedom, and Christianity is something that enslaves us. But the reality is, true freedom comes from Jesus, who put himself on the line for us to truly have freedom. Freedom from sin, freedom from other people's opinions, freedom from an identity that is faulty. Jesus offers us this. And this is why I think so many people, especially a lot of famous people now, are coming to faith in Jesus, because they're realizing that what is out there isn't worth it. And I don't want you to miss out on that. Anyways, I am looking forward to the rest of Dandadan and to see what this season of the show has in store for us. So if you like this video, make sure you comment below, let me know your thoughts, and I'll catch you in the next one. Hey, also, thank you guys for 2K subs. It's really been a journey since creating videos and creating content here. I really do enjoy this. And so I appreciate you. And so I just want to take a moment at the end of this video, because I didn't even have a chance to celebrate 2K subs with you guys. And so maybe one day I might hop on a live or something. But until then, I'll catch you later.